Whoa! Before you scroll down and click that dislike button and you say mean, nasty thoughts, why don't you actually hear what I had to say about this website called Patreon? For the record, I'm just gonna say I do like Patreon for the fact that it does support many different types of creators and gives them a viable way to earn a living and do what they love and provide the sort of entertainment that fans want from them. This is not a hit piece on Patreon. And I do love the artists that are able to enjoy their craft and have a good time making art and giving it to others for them to enjoy, and also other types of entertainers such as cosplayers, YouTubers, Twitch streamers, whatever. However, there is a specific type of offender here that I wish to talk about that is honestly giving the art community a bad rep. Now, I wouldn't normally talk about this, but the fact that I see this literally every single time I go to DeviantArt or Pixiv or whatever thing, mind you, I see this constantly. Now, for the record, I'm not gonna give any specific examples of this artwork, even though I can find plenty, mainly because I don't want this to go the route of me attacking specific artists when it's more of just a general thing. But anyway, as you're perusing through your art, you happen to find upon something that kind of looks like this. But instead of actually seeing this face, you start getting some, whoa, what's this? Some big old P things covering what you want to see. And also, for some reason, now we have a border blowing saying, please support me on Patreon. And then above me also has another freaking advertisement. So now you're starting to see a freaking billboard rather than art. There are many talented artists out there that are doing this that I quite honestly feel are ruining their reputation as well as the general artist reputation and just kind of putting a damper on the entire community by doing this. Now, don't get me wrong, there's absolutely nothing wrong with having like one Patreon post trying to say, hey, yo, please support me on Patreon. That would be great. Nor is it wrong for them to post or leave a watermark at every single one that says, you know, support me on Patreon if you like what I do. However, I'm more talking about the excessiveness of what I see going on. Rather than watermarks, it's more or less most of the picture is now the water park, and then just a little bit you see is what you actually wanted to see. Stuff like that kind of drives me insane. It's like, why even bother posting this in the first place? And then sometimes when you actually click on these Patreon links here, they have separate tiers, alright? And I've seen this, okay? Where this goes, you know, $5 unlocks the swimsuit tier, $10 unlocks the battle damage tiers, and $15 finally unlocks the lewd tier. Whoa! Now, quite honestly, it's fine. You're able to do whatever you want with your own money, and that's fine. That's cool. But there comes a point where I'm just like, this is just excessive. Now, don't get me wrong, I love my lewds, alright? Lewds are fan-freaking-tastic. I went to Anime Expo, and the absolute biggest hit among the crowds, where lines were waiting and had to be capped at some points, were the lewd booths. And from what I've seen on Twitter, a lot of you guys really like me doing lewd and stupid stuff as well. Especially like some of the visual novels that I'm not capable of doing anymore because of YouTube. But you get my picture. But what I feel is ruining some of the fun of lewds is the fact that you have to cough over this exorbitant amount of money that these artists want for some of their stuff. And yes, if they provide quality stuff, then sure, it's great, it's fantastic, I don't have a problem. But I see a lot of the time where people are clearly not ready to start charging for this, but they're doing it anyway. And they're just in it for the mere fact that they want to make money. They're not into it for the love of art. They just want to clearly and quite specifically make money off of you. Honestly, I don't want to attack any specific artists and say they're not good enough yet to try this tactic here, but you guys have probably seen plenty of newbie artists that just get into their career and are trying to make money straight off the beginning. And if my example is still a little unclear, basically what I can compare it to is a newbie YouTuber who's just starting out, just goes into it, makes his first video and says, hey, where is my millions that I'm owed? Why aren't people clicking on my videos and loving me straight off the bat? It's that kind of mindset that is, honestly, I think ruining a lot of the artist community. It took a solid year of being paid absolutely nothing before I was able to even earn a decent living off of being a YouTuber. And I say decent. It was finally better than my part-time job. And the fact that some people go right into the art community, jump straight to it, and expect people to like vouch for their Patreons for exorbitant amounts of money is quite honestly insulting to others. Insulting to the others that have worked their butt off to be where they are today. And so when I do see those big old censor marks, that watermarks, whatever, mind you, like, I get a little upset. And another thing that makes me upset is when the picture zooms in on a specific part and all you see is just this. But you know there's more going on, and there's that little link below that says, you want to see the rest? Well, go to Patreon. So basically, to sum up my pet peeves of all the stuff that's going on in DeviantArt and Pixab through Patreon, it's just like these artists aren't doing art for the enjoyment of it, quite clearly. They are only in it for the money and making money from you. There's nothing wrong with making money and earning a living, again, I will reiterate. But the fact that you don't actually enjoy your craft quite clearly because you limit and post only these Patreon arts on your page, it's ridiculous. You're making everyone else seem greedy in the community. And again, I will also reiterate that it's fine to upload art that is, you know, quote unquote, safe for work or even a little bit lewd on your website, but has a modified version on it on Patreon. I think that's absolutely fantastic if you do that. If you want to see the better version of it, quote unquote, there. But if you're just censoring the artwork and just butchering it to just unknown levels, like, what is the point of even posting it in the first place? You're basically telling that audience, screw you, pay me money. If you are confident in your work and confident that you actually deserve this money, then you should just post the actual artwork or a different version, an alternative version of it, and then you should be fine with just the link below in the Patreon saying, hey, support me if you love me, and you can get some extra artworks, some uncensored artworks that actually show everything, or rather the alternative versions. And what I mean by the censored artwork is not actually big freaking peas everywhere, but more just like a subtle thing that actually goes with the art and not is just blatantly gross and apparent in your face. So what are your thoughts on this here? Do you guys actually agree with me, or do you think, Noble, maybe you're a little bit too wound up about this? I think it's fine seeing these walking billboard people all over the place, or these people that are clearly all in for the money. You know, it's fine just to have a few of those. So if they make good art, Noble, then what's the problem with forking over a bunch of money? I don't know, maybe I'm starting to feel like it may start becoming a gotcha game with artwork, where if you pay a certain amount of money, you may or may not get lewds. If I start seeing it go that way, oh wait, it actually is going that way with certain specific gotcha games themselves. What am I talking about? Like, I don't want to see even worse practices being put out there. Like, I want it to stop at certain points and make sure that the artist is doing it for the right reasons. But anyway, those are my thoughts and opinions. Feel free absolutely to leave your thoughts and opinions below, and I will be glad to read them and for you guys to discuss it, and you know, maybe we can iron some things out, or maybe to see if it's actually bugging you or not. So once again guys, thank you so much for listening to the whole thing. Give yourselves a pat on the back, maybe like the video, subscribe for some more quality content, and I hope to see all you beautiful sons of guns again next time.
You crazy mother.